Welcome, Peak Bloom, and greetings from Washington, D.C. Now, this is a very specific location to the National Cherry Blossom Festival. That is the area that's pictured on the plaque. The first Japanese cherry trees presented to the city of Washington as a gesture of friendship and goodwill by the city of Tokyo were planted on this site March 27th of 1912. National. And there is the plaque, and here are the people that were at this location on March 27th of 1912. Now, there is more than just blossoms in history. There's more history. It's lighting the way, the Japanese stone lantern. But let's get into it, because it is Peak Bloom. Peak Bloom was declared on March 23rd of 2022. So we are 2 days after Peak Bloom. This is a March 25th look. A Saturday afternoon alongside of the tidal basin, and it's a little bit wet, which means that the cherry blossom trees are having their hydration for their weekend visitors. Full sun is expected for tomorrow, but that does not keep people away from the National Cherry Blossom Festival. People travel miles to get here. I traveled from New York City, which is about 4.5 hours on a bus to get here. And it's not the first time. I come back every year. Now, we have beautiful park rangers who give history tours absolutely for free. And you'll see their book of information. And this is where you'll find that plaque announcing the original planting March 27th of 1912, which is right next to the Japanese stone lantern, which will be lit the second weekend of April. Now, what hides behind the stone lantern without a plaque or an identifier? Some cherry blossoms and some really cool history. It is believed that these are the two original trees planted in 1912. And it makes sense if you think about two people being at this park without thousands of visitors sitting next to each other with their shovels, planting two trees. Look at how symmetrically planted these are. And these are very aged trees, but so much love has gone into these trees that they have been preserved. Let's take a quick walk around. If you're looking for the trees, they have identifier tags. And this one is labeled it looks like 326. Now, there were actual plaques on the original trees, but vandals had taken them. And so it is up to interpretation if those are the original two trees. But for the love of cherry blossoms, if it's Peak Bloom, they could be planted anywhere. They could be new trees, they could be the original trees. It's an absolutely beautiful time to be here. And for point of reference, when people ask me what is my happy place, it would be this. Walking under the cherry blossoms. Winter in the north of the United States can be a bit rough. Color sensory deprivation does exist, but not anymore. When I get my calendar book for the year, the first thing I do is write in the National Cherry Blossom Festival, and people will travel all over to attend this event. Now, Peak Bloom does vary, so the event runs for multiple weeks, and luckily tonight is opening ceremonies and Peak Bloom, so I will be heading over to the Warner Theater in Northwest DC after my stroll.
I would if I weren't so thinking about it.
And for the love of cherry blossoms, don't miss visiting the Love Tree. The Parks Department will sometimes trim branches to make sure that the trees can live a little bit longer with their branches that are thriving. And when they cut this branch, it made the shape of a heart. For the love of spring and for the love of cherry blossoms. And thank you to Japan for sending all of these trees here and sharing that beautiful cultural tradition with us. Happy spring from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And I'm sure to see you next year. It's a close-up of a blossom. Enjoy. Kyoto, I'll see you next.